I bought this drill-powered dryer vent cleaning kit as a starting point for the project, then realized it had threaded connections, which means it can only be spun in one direction and not reversed. I returned it and purchased a kit with a different kind of connection for the flexible rods, one that allows for reversal. It came with a couple of brushes that would probably be good for cleaning out small ducts. The rods that came with this kit are reversible due to the design of the connections. It just uses a spring-loaded locking pin. Here's the drive bit that chucks into the drill and a tool that came with it. This tool that came with is for pushing the pin to separate the connectors. Need to drill a 3/16 inch hole in the end of a piece of 1/2 inch by 0.35 aluminum round tubing. This was the best option I had on hand, although a slightly thicker wall would have fit onto the connectors tighter and better. The connections on the ends of the brushes and rods are basically just 1/2 inch steel tubing with an inside diameter of about 10.2 millimeters, while the part that fits into the tube is around 9.8 millimeters, for a clearance of almost 1/2 millimeter. The inside diameter of my aluminum tubing is nearly 10.8 millimeters, which is a difference of 1 millimeter. Quite a bit. Maybe too much. I use a 1/16 inch bit to drill pilot holes in a spiral pattern, and then finish with a 3/16 inch bit before cutting the tube to its final length. The bristles of the broom pull out easily with pliers. They'll be inserted through the holes and hot glued into place. The ends will be run past each other in the tube, like so. To secure them, I just insert some bristles through one side and inject glue from the other. Then bristles are pushed into the glue from the other side. After the glue solidifies some, I move on to the next pair of bristles. I chose hot glue because it's fast, but many other types of glue could also work. Should have taken the same amount of bristles from both ends, but the broom will still work fine. These bristles were long enough to make a brush with a diameter of just over 11 inches. Larger ones could have been used though. Human power alone is all that's needed to operate this brush. Doesn't seem to really have a minimum RPM, but it certainly has a maximum. Let's test it with a 1700 RPM drill. Looks great to me. Wobbles some, but it's fine. Its length is causing its wobble to affect the drive shaft more by throwing it out of center. This wobble begins to overcome the gyroscopic stability of the rotating assembly at around 2000 RPM. The tube probably needs to be tighter fitting or cut shorter, but I'll just use it with the 1700 RPM drill. Probably faster than I should be going anyway. Before finishing with the cable brush, I tried out this broom bristle brush to see if it could clean some of the dust and dirt in this nasty segment. I turn off the duct vacuum during filming so you can see what the brushes sweep up into the air more easily, but it's turned on immediately afterward. Although the brush barely cleans the bottom any, it did manage to remove the residue of dust that was stuck onto the top and sides of the duct. Even seems to work okay as a hand-operated brush. Think I would cut the tube longer and install more bristles for a hand brush though. See how the bristles evened out some during use? The sloppy fit of this tube over the male connector will only get worse in time, but it demonstrated that it doesn't need to be an exact fit to work. Of course, more precise would be better. Well, the sides of this rectangle air duct can be cleaned okay. Now I need to somehow direct the brush to the center. Got some 2.5mm thick wire here, and I'm going to use it to make a guide for the brush. I loosely loop one end around the rod, then cut the wire to the length I need to loop it around the other end of the rod, like this. Should spin freely. With this tool, I can position the brush wherever it's needed from side to side in the duct. To adjust its position, I simply bend the wire. When I finish one half of the heating duct, the guide will be flipped and I'll clean the other half. Stopped the brush just where I wanted it on the right hand side. I'll keep bending it as I work my way to the middle. Shouldn't be used in areas where it might get snagged or hooked on a protrusion inside the ductwork, but straight, smooth sections seem to be okay. Broom bristles could probably be attached to one of the brush heads using hot glue or zip ties, or both. I'll need to use a duct vacuum to suck out the dust and debris swept up into the air when using this equipment, just like I did with the whips. Thanks for watching.